Street art in the UK has grown rapidly in recent years, fuelled by social media's global reach, making it easier for artists' work to be recognised. Here in Liverpool, a city synonymous with art, music, sport and culture, there has been a surge of art murals being produced in recent years. The subjects of these murals range from footballing heroes to music icons and everything in between. Through speaking to different people involved in all aspects of producing a mural, I'm investigating how important street art can be and the impact it can have on a local community. I travelled to Birkdale Station in Southport to speak to Liverpool-based street artist Paul Curtis as he worked on his latest project. Paul began working as a street artist less than 10 years ago after painting his niece's room whilst out of work, and has gone on to produce famous murals all across the city of Liverpool. He discussed the impact that murals can have on a local community.
If done in the right area, if it's a good mural and if it's well chosen in terms of what it's trying to reflect, you see areas like Shoreditch in London have completely transformed. I'm not saying it's just down to street art, but that's been a massive factor in it. So areas that are sort of, you know, a little bit more run down, and in those areas there's actually more opportunities to paint, because if you go into areas where it's well to do, sometimes the local population isn't all for street art, but also there isn't as many buildings, because you tend to look for buildings that need some kind of facelift. So there's more opportunity there, and when it's done right and it's, you know, it's of a high quality, it can really transform an area. Yeah.
Paul's most powerful mural is located just behind Anfield Stadium, with the design paying tribute to the late Anne Williams, who campaigned for justice after the Hillsborough disaster. The artwork depicts Williams holding her fist aloft in celebration of the Hillsborough Independent Panel in 2012. After losing her son Kevin to the tragedy, she was nicknamed the Iron Lady due to her resilience in fighting for the victims of Hillsborough. Her tireless work was honoured by her friend Rupin Ganatra, who commissioned the mural to commemorate the special person she was.
Read the book, cried at every page I turned, and you know, pictures in the book as well with a little boy, Kevin. I used to come to the memorial service at Anfield every year anyway. One year, seeing her at the Albert pub right by the ground, recognised her, went and said hello, and we just got on like a house on fire. At the time, I knew, you know, being a Londoner, I knew there wasn't enough exposure in London. Nobody knew what really went on. As a Liverpool fan, you would, but nobody really knew. And that was the conversation we first had, saying you need to spread the word, you know, what's gone on, you know, the cover-ups and all that. Nobody knew back then, but obviously Anne was fighting for something huge. And I always said to her that for all your good work, everything you've done for the families, the survivors, the city, football in general, and justice, you deserve a statue in Liverpool City Centre, you know. I'm going to do my best to try and do that, and I'm still going to try and get that done. But in the meantime, I thought, you know, put up a little mural just to tribute her. Unfortunately, she wasn't around to see it, but you know, I'm close to her family now as well, and you know, they love it. Everyone loves it. So.
Paul discussed the process behind creating such an important piece.
So it was nice for one of the people from the fans to be painted, and for it to be and it's kind of symbolic of the struggle that the fans went through to get justice, which obviously is well documented, but it's amazing how quickly it's been forgotten. So it was important, and as someone from Liverpool, it was important for me as well. Yeah.
Why did it take so long? I was like, it's not in anybody's hands. The people do what they do. But it was long overdue. Something was a tribute of some sort was long overdue. We've got a couple of memorials, you know, one at Anfield, one in town, but no real individual memorials. And don't get me wrong, she's not the only one who did her bit for justice. We know loads of others that did, but for me this was personal. She was my mate. That was my personal tribute to her, and I'm happy. You know, I want to share that with anyone and everyone who sets their eyes on it. You know?
Across the city at the Phoenix Hotel, street art company Murals had begun the production of their latest project, honouring legendary Liverpool FC manager Jurgen Klopp after he announced he will leave the club at the end of the season after 8 years in charge. Murals is a street art group created by Mark Silver in 2019, and they have gone on to produce widely recognised, unique murals across the country. I caught up with artist Mark Rowe after completion of his new Klopp mural to discuss why he feels street art is so important.
I think they're very important. I think I was talking to a friend earlier, was talking about the mental health implications of actually having some colour up and something bright and nice for people to look at. It definitely makes, you know, if anyone going for a walk or things like this, it makes it something for them to do. They can, like if you're going around Anfield, for example, you could follow the tracks of where the different murals are to go and visit them all, and before you know it, you've done a good walk, and you know you're feeling better. You've had a bit of culture, and you know you've had a good day, haven't you? So I think it's very important. I think also to honour, if by way of the football murals, I think to honour these guys that have dedicated so much to the sport and given so much of themselves to the sport, and in turn the people that enjoy the sport and follow the sport. I think to be able to give them something back is a priceless thing. I think my favourite one, purely for the memory and the feeling and the meaning behind it, was a very special young man that we had the honour of painting and meeting his family, and we've become very close friends with them since. And yeah, unfortunately he passed away not long after, and but no, it was just the memories of that and the day and the friends we made out of that is definitely up there.
Murals in Liverpool are not exclusive to just Premier League footballers. Paul Curtis was commissioned to celebrate one of non-league side Marine AFC's greatest sporting moments that came back in 2021.
Barragan, so close to penalties now. Can Marine win it right at the death? They might do. Oh, and they have! A dramatic goal for the captain, Niall Cummins. And I think it came off his back.
Niall Cummins' last gasp goal against Havant and Waterlooville sent Marine through to the FA Cup third round, where they faced Premier League side Tottenham Hotspur. A monumental moment for the club's captain fantastic, and a remarkable achievement that was honoured with his own mural outside Rossett Park. Back at the venue from that historical night, I spoke to Niall about his initial reaction to his mural being unveiled and what effect the artwork has had for the club.
Yeah, so I don't know how it came about. I think it was Dave McMillan mentioned that someone's going to do a mural, and when you hear the word mural, I didn't know how the size or the scale of it. I thought it could be a tiny little thing that was on the inside of the wall, but then I found out what it was, and Paul Curtis, I think it was, it did at the time. Unbelievable. I was thinking, I saw they put a montage together of how it starts off as basically a white canvas, and he does this, and it obviously it's sped up, and I just couldn't believe how he did it, the detail. And yes, I really am as bad looking as I thought, but I was a little bit embarrassed, I must admit. The reason being because the FA Cup run is a team event. I was lucky enough for it to, I mean, I do feel sorry for the defender. He kicked it onto my back, so I've got all the credit, but it's a team effort. So personally, I wouldn't mind if it was a team one. I'm very lucky to get it. When I saw it, I was a bit like, yes, it's bigger than I even thought. I think one of the first times I came was with my family, so they were being a bit cheesy and getting pictures, and my dad and my son and all have had some since. So yeah, it was a bit in shock, and it really does grab the detail. It just shows exactly how the emotions. Funny enough, when I look back at it now, I do get still little flashbacks and feelings that what happened on that night. Yeah, it was good. And I honestly think buildings and everything should be lined with them, because they're so inspirational. I've been to so many different schools where it might be the long jump record, or this person doing this event, or the women in sport that had the big push, the we can and she can. It's brilliant. I think I have a major influence. The local community, I mean, I think it just helps people realise, like, you don't have to be in the top leagues to get recognised. I had lots of lovely messages from local fans, younger lads as well, wishing us luck, but trying to aspire to be like that as well, which is really, really good. So yeah, I think it having a massive positive impact. And also, I don't know if it's ironic, and the club's evolved, but attendances and everything seem to have gone up. And I think that's because you reach out to community and see what the impact it's having and how it's helping local, shops and businesses. Yeah, it has a massive impact, big time.
The production of creating a mural can be a long, drawn-out process, with extensive planning being done before an artist is even contacted. Peter Schreibersman is the co-owner of Hotel Anfield and has been involved in the commission process of various Liverpool Football Club-related projects around the ground. He discussed why they got involved and the benefits he feels street art can bring to a community.
But I guess most importantly, really, the local residents, from my point of view, when you invest in an area into things that are tangible, then the people that live there see that and feel that, and they will realize there is people there that care about the area, and that then makes them care for their own area a little bit more as well. It's a civic pride at the end of the day, which you can't switch on and off, but you can certainly stimulate it. And I think the lamppost banners, which were paid from the same funding I referred to earlier, as well as the murals, have led to the area just being a little bit more colorful, a little bit, you know, replace old drab magnolia walls with nice artwork. Just makes people, you know, it just lifts the place.
With street art projects continuing to brighten up the streets of Liverpool, the artistic trend shows no signs of letting up, and it won't be long before more iconic figures in Merseyside will be honoured this way.